All right, so for the intro to CAD modeling and Onshape, one more exercise to kind of get you in the scheme of things, and hopefully from here on out, you can start doing some more creative stuff. So today's is the Revolve tool. So exercise Revolve, we're going to be creating this little wheel. All right, so let's go and get started. So once you are in the tutorial, next page, we're going to go through these 12 slides. Again, you want to be in cad.onshape.com. So first thing we're going to do is create a new document. Again, cad.onshape.com right up here. So new document. This is going to be called the Revolve exercise, and this is my video tutorial version. So let's get started. Once we're in this create, let's follow the steps. Create a new document. Again, workspace units is inches. We'll double check that. 3 bars, workspace unit. This is inches. Looking good. Next step, begin to sketch on the right plane. Gonna come over here, hit sketch. Choose the right plane either from here or from the list. Do it from the list this time. And I'm gonna hit the letter N to go normal to it, or you can choose it from the view cube. So here we go. We got a couple of construction lines. Want it to be vertical construction line, endpoint coincident to the origin. Also a horizontal one that's going to be the midpoint aligned to the origin. Come over here, hit line. Let's go ahead and just make them non-construction lines first. Do that one first. Hit escape. Hit the letter L to as a shortcut to create lines. Hit escape again to get out of the tool. Construction line or the letter Q. I'm going to choose that one. And again, I can do that for both. The letter Q to turn that into a construction line. And the last thing I didn't do yet is make sure that the midpoint, the origin is the midpoint of that line. Okay, let's see what's next. All right, we're creating this shape. So a couple things we want to be careful of. These two are a little bit diagonal, so they're not horizontal. Midpoint is to that spot. There's a little gap here. Notice that this line and this line doesn't line up, so we want to make sure we show that. All right, let's start with a couple of lines. I'm going to go ahead and start this shape. That part was here, there, there. Again, this part was sloped a little bit. I'm going to make sure this lines up across. Down, and then again, notice that it's starting to lock some things across from each other, and that's what I do want to see some of those, but just be careful if it's locking. Notice here, like I didn't want this to lock there, so I want to make sure I pull it past it. I do kind of want it to be lined up to that, so I'll click on that. And now I've got my basic shape here. Hit escape again to get out of a tool. Okay, I want to make sure that's the midpoint. Let's double check that. Midpoint, this point to this line. Notice that kind of straighten things out. Okay, equal constraints. Let's double check. Make sure all those are equal. So everything that is kind of opposite to each other. So this one needs to be equal to that one. This needs to be equal to that. This should be equal to that. This one should be equal to that. And this one should be equal to that. Okay. And again, if you want to pan like this, I usually get this question. You'll push the scroll wheel down, and then you can pan around to kind of change your view. Okay, very helpful tool. So I recommend using a mouse if you're not doing that already. All right, let's add some dimensions. So hit the letter D or click on it up here. First one, this one I believe was 1.5. 1.5. The bottom is 1.625. That's this guy. 1.625. It's 0.25 in the middle, here to here, 0.25, and it's a 3-degree angle. So between here and here, zoom in a little bit, make sure it's this angle, should be 3. All right, it looks a little different right now, but it's because we still have some more dimensions. All right, next one. This is a really important one, is doing a diameter dimension. People typically get caught up here, so I'll try to walk you through as best as I can. It's a lot of instructions here. I'll just kind of show you right now. All right, so I'm still on this dimension tool, so I'm going to start from the bottom. So what I'm going to do is click on this bottom line, move your mouse down to the construction line that we had earlier, click on that. So right now, if I just leave it here, it's just going to measure the distance between those two lines. I want it to be a diameter, so notice I pull the mouse below the construction line, and then it turns into a diameter. You see that diameter symbol? Click, and this is going to be 0.5. 0.5. Okay, so I'm going to do that for the rest here. The next one is 1, 2.75, and 3. So from here to here, pull it down. It should be 1. The next one from here, this point down to the construction line, this was 2.75, I believe. And then the last one is 3. So from this top down the construction line, again, drag it below. I'll pull it over here. That should be 3. Notice again, everything is black. It is constrained. We are looking good. Let's see what's next. I'm going to create the revolve. So it's going to choose a profile and it's going to revolve around an axis. Here we go. Hit the check mark on the sketch. I'm going to go to the revolve tool, Shift W. Okay, so first off, the face I want to revolve is this sketch that we made. The revolve axis is this line right here, this horizontal line. Okay, again, I'm going to right click to check out what's happening. It's creating my little wheel. And I think that is all good. I'm going to accept it. Hit the check mark. Moving along. Slide 8, right click on the newly cleared part. We're going to rename it wheel. All right, so over here, right click on it, rename, call it wheel. See what's next. Edit the appearance. Right click on it, select edit appearance. So right click, select edit appearance, see what it wants us to do. We're going to change the color. Easily just pick any color there, kind of gray, I think is what they did there. Next up, we're going to assign a material. We want to assign cast iron to the wheel. So hit this check mark, right click on that part again, assign material right there. I'm going to search it as cast iron, pops right up, click on that, hit the check mark. Now it's got properties of cast iron. Next slide, we're going to double check that the mass is good. We want the mass in pounds. Okay, so I'm going to double check if my mass wasn't in pounds. Workspace units, right now down here, mass default unit right now is in grams. Change that to pounds. Check mark. All right, select that. Let's go and select the mass properties down in the bottom right. And 1.037 pounds is what we're looking for. Once you get that, take a screenshot, make sure your name's in the top right-hand corner, and you are ready to go.